What is the Fenix PD36R Ace? Well, it's a customizable, multi-mode, tactical style flashlight that has a maximum output of 3,000 lumens, a maximum throwing distance of 415 meters, that's equivalent to 1,362 feet, a maximum intensity of 43,181 candela, and a max runtime of 63 hours on eco mode. And pushing out those 3,000 lumens is a single luminous SFT70 Generation 2 LED with a runtime of about 50,000 hours and a color temperature of 6,500 Kelvin. It features 7 total lighting modes, 5 brightness levels, plus 2 special modes, strobe and SOS. And those modes can be controlled with dual switches, a single tail switch and a single side switch. And being in the Ace line of flashlights from Fenix, it features the 3-in-1 set customization, where you can customize 3 different lighting levels based on your lighting needs. Inside, there's a rechargeable 3.6 volt, 5,000 milliamp hour 21700 lithium-ion battery that can be charged with the hidden USB-C charging port on the outside of the body, or if you have a slot charger, it can be slot charged. The body's made of 6061 T6 aluminum and has a Type 3 hard anodized finish. The dust and waterproof rating is IP68. The 6 means it's completely dustproof, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water and has a 1.5 meter impact resistance. All right, let's talk dimensions. It has a length of 5.75 inches, a head diameter of 1.18 inches, and a body diameter of 1.02 inches. All right, you guys already know. Let's plop it on the scale. See what it comes out to be. All right, 6.4 ounces, and in grams, it's 182 grams. And yes, I am weighing it with the battery in it and the pocket clip on it. All right, let's start talking about this shiz right here. I'm a big fan of Fenix's Ace series because the flashlights in the Ace series gives you just a little bit more customization than your standard offerings. And the Fenix PD36R Ace right here gives you those 3 options. Option 1, option 2, option 3. A tactical, a duty, and a standard use mode. So I think that's pretty cool, albeit somewhat limited still with the 3 options. I mean, I sort of wish some of the options gave you a little bit more flexibility, but I'll talk about that when we get to the user interface a little bit later on in this video. But let me give you guys a nice close-up of this 6061 T6 aluminum body with the Type 3 hard anodized finish. Very nice looking body, high quality, just like everything you'd expect from Fenix. No complaints at all. It feels very nice in the hand. You can see that side switch is almost in a perfect spot for my thumb. So overall, I think the design is pretty nice here. Now let me give you a look right down the barrel there at that single luminous SFT70 Gen 2 LED. That is an optical glass lens. I know a lot of you guys like to know that, and a smooth reflector. And this being what Fenix is calling a tactical style flashlight. Yes, it does have some tactical style features, but I'll give you a close-up of that bezel right there. It's not an aggressive crenellated bezel, but it is there, as you can see. But those tactical features I'm speaking of is, of course, the momentary on, the silent momentary on tail switch right there. It does have instant access to turbo. And while the flashlight is on, you do have instant access to strobe as well. But in my opinion, a tactical flashlight is just that. Instant access to the highest level and instant access to strobe. All these other options, I think, make this more of an EDC flashlight. A lot of you guys might disagree with me, but that's just my personal opinion. I just feel like a tactical style flashlight should be as simple as possible. No messing around with multiple buttons or multiple options. But let's move on here. Here's the tail switch in the back. That is a nice rubberized tail switch. Clicky when you push it all the way in. And like I said, it does have that half press momentary on. And I'll give you a look at that side button right there. That is a metal side button. And within that side button, you can see there is an LED. That is a battery life indicator, a boot up battery life indicator. It lasts for about 3 to 4 seconds. And obviously that went out already, which this is my favorite type of battery life indicator. A boot up battery life indicator. It's not hidden under anything and it goes out so you don't have anything glowing while you're using the flashlight outside. And as I move down the flashlight, I'll give you a look at that split ring removable pocket clip right there. You can see you'll have right about 1 inch sticking up above your pockets. It also has a hole at the top of the pocket clip for a lanyard, and you can also string a lanyard through these tabs right there at the tail. And while I'm here at the tail, if you guys have watched my videos in the past, you probably already know where I'm going with this. You can see those 2 tabs on the side, but that rubberized tail switch, focus, it sticks up just slightly over those 2 tabs, which means you cannot tail stand this. You guys have no idea how much this drives me nuts. I'm a big fan of tail standing my flashlights, and why not just either make those tabs just slightly longer or just minimize the rubber on that tail switch so we can tail stand this. It drives me nuts. Fenix, why do you guys do this? I don't know why you guys do this. I want to know why. I'm going to stop saying the word why, but I'm going to move on from this because it drives me nuts, as you guys already know. So I know I already showed you guys the battery and talked about the battery at the beginning of this video. A 3.6 volt, 5,000 milliamp hour 21700. It is a button top. And according to Fenix, you can use any Fenix 21700 in the PD36R Ace. And it can use 18650 batteries with an adapter. And let me show you right there. It does have a spring in the tail, but inside there is no spring. Let me show you that right there. There is no spring on the inside, but there is one at the tail. And once again, I'm considering this more of an everyday carry flashlight, so I'm not going to be too hard on it. And I've tried getting some lighting interruptions with this by banging it. Haven't really run across that yet. So as I bang it, see that? No lighting interruption. So the single spring right here is doing its job, but I always still like to see a double spring system. But if I'm banging the light against my hand this hard, look at that. Yeah, no lighting interruptions at all, so I can look past it. And the last thing I want to show you on the body is right here is a little twist ring right here. So as you twist this little portion down, let me show you right there. There's the little USB logo right there. So as I twist it open, it exposes the USB-C charging port right there. So that's where the USB-C charging port is, and it's hidden, which I really like this. I like this design. And it also helps keep dust and dirt and mud out of that USB-C charging port, which also helps with that IP rating, the IP68. That's excellent. But as I turn it around, where is it? Right there. So that is the set customization button. So as I turn it on, you can see it's on option 3. And if I press the button, it cycles through those 3 options. And it's as easy as just pressing that little button right there to customize whichever option you want. I had it in option 3 right there because it features all the levels: eco, low, medium, high, and turbo. Option 1 is turbo and strobe only. That's why it's for tactical use. Option 2 is eco, medium, turbo, and strobe. That's why it's a duty use. And option 3 is standard use, better for everyday carry. All the levels are available in option 3. So super quick and easy to use this set customization button right here to choose whichever lighting mode you want. And then when you're done, just twist up that little ring right there. I like it. All right, let's go over the lumens and runtime information. You can see all the lighting levels on the top. Eco is 30 lumens, has a runtime of 63 hours and 23 minutes. Low is 150 lumens, has a runtime of 21 hours and 49 minutes. Medium, the sweet spot, 350 lumens, that's almost perfect, an 8-hour and 49-minute runtime. High is 1,000 lumens, has a 3-hour and 28-minute runtime. And then turbo, 3,000 lumens, 3 hours and 2 minutes of runtime, and a throwing distance of 415 meters, 43,181 candela. Now, of course, you see the asterisk right there next to the 3 hours and 2 minutes of runtime. That's a total runtime. You're not getting 3 hours and 2 minutes of 3,000 lumens. That's a total runtime from 3,000 lumens with all the step downs until the battery is dead. I did do a lumen test as well. You guys will see my findings in just a little bit. But the 3,000 lumens, I wasn't getting exactly that, but it was close. But as you'll see, it started stepping down instantly from that turbo from 3,000, or I think it was a 2,800 was my max, 2,750. And it started stepping down instantly at a steady decline. But the mode spacing here is pretty good. I love to see a 350 lumen medium at 8 hours and 49 minutes. That's excellent. Eco, I'm not too happy with the 30 lumen eco. I would much rather see a firefly mode or a moonlight mode at about 1 lumen instead of that 30 lumens here. Now let's go to strobe, 3000 lumens, that's perfect. A 150 lumen SOS, that's not so perfect. If I'm in some sort of emergency where I have to use SOS, I want something a little bit brighter than 150. Not exactly the 3000, but give me maybe 1000, 1500 lumens. I want to be able to be seen. That SOS is useless if nobody can see it at 150 lumens. Also, that SOS mode is only available in option 3 with all levels available. It's not available in option 1 or option 2. Now let's just quickly go over the UI. Very simple UI. A half press is momentary on, as you can see right there, silent, momentary on. That's your tactical style feature right there. And a full press and click is your constant on. And to cycle your brightness levels, obviously, it's the side button right here. There's your eco, low, medium, high, and turbo. And it just cycles through as long as you're in that option 3 mode setting. In any of the 3 options, if you want to access strobe, what you want to do is press and hold while it's on. There's your strobe. And to access SOS, in option 3, just single click it again to cycle through strobe and SOS. Like I said, SOS is only available in option 3. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to cycle through those 3 levels right there. There's level 1, I just pressed the button. So there's turbo only, and then of course press and hold the side switch to access strobe. And now option 2, just press the button right there. There is option 2, and that is going to be eco, medium, turbo, and then of course press and hold for strobe. And you guys already know what option 3 is. I've been in it this entire video. And before I go outside to do the beam demonstration in the cold, cold snow, yes, it's very cold outside, let's talk about everything the PD36R Ace comes with. Of course, here's the box. Nice product shot on the front. There's some lumens and runtime information on the back. We already talked about that. It does come with a nylon holster. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of holster, but it does have a flap with Velcro on the front, a belt loop right there on the back that's held with Velcro, a plastic D-ring on the back. Don't really like this, but let's move on to the adjustable lanyard. This is nice. You can see that is adjustable right there. Pretty cool. A USB-A to USB-C charging cable. Does come with a couple spare rubber O-rings, some product information, some warranty information, and user manual. Also, let me throw all this off to the side. I am charging the flashlight, so you can see it's glowing red right dead center of that side switch. But if you turn on the flashlight and press the button, here you can see, yeah, you can use this as a pass-through when it's charging. That's nice. All right, so it looks like the weather died down a little bit, which is good because it was almost blizzard-like about 2 hours ago. But let's take advantage of this. So I just started out in eco mode, and you guys can see sort of what the beam profile is going to look like already. It's going to have that pretty intense hotspot right dead center, even at this 30 lumen eco. And then you can see the beam perimeter right there. It's going to have a really nice crispy outer perimeter. You guys will see as I ramp up the brightness levels here. So look at that. I can already see some eyes looking at me right there. Those are the deer that have been eating all my Halloween pumpkins, which perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I had about 6 or 7 pumpkins in my front lawn, and in a couple weeks they ate them all. there was just stems left. They left nothing. I mean, no seeds, nothing was left of those pumpkins but a couple stems. It was pretty funny. But let's move on to low. There we go. There's low. And yes, I am kissing that tree right there. And you can see those eyes, those little glowing eyes a little bit better. I don't want to blind them though. And I'll put up the distance between me and that tree right there I'm hitting. And then as we pan across the barn, the distance between me and the tree and the barn, which is great. So I know a lot of you guys have been complaining about my beam test being too jumpy and me doing this and you guys getting dizzy and seasick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say too much about that, but I'll try to slow it down a little bit for you, okay? How's this? Is this a good speed? Does that sound sarcastic? Because it's not. Or is it? No, I'm kidding. I'll slow it down. All right. Well, there's low. Medium, the sweet spot. This is where I like to use my flashlights, right there on medium. And, you know, guys, I'm always apologizing for the snow. I live near Buffalo. And I know you say that you can't really get an accurate representation of the brightness because the snow is just bouncing back, which is true. But not everybody lives in sunny California or sunny Florida. And I can't do a perfect beam test with, you know, no snow, no rain, no mist. Sometimes it happens. I have weather here. So yeah, I apologize for this, but not really. I can't do anything about it. But let's go to high. This is high. So 1,000 lumens. This is nice. So very intense hotspot. I have no problem hitting those back trees back there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's a little bit hazy right now, and we still have a little bit of flakes coming down. Well, I think you guys can see it as I pan across that tree line. Boom. Hey guys, how you doing? It's a mom and 2 babies right there. And then let's go to turbo. I'm not going to blind those deer with turbo. Let's go to turbo. Boom. Oh yeah, 3,000 lumens. Well, sort of. I was getting about 2750. The heck? I was getting about 2750 or so, but it starts to step down instantly from turbo. It takes about a minute or so of step down. So right now it's slowly stepping down, but this is plenty of light. Typical tactical style flashlight beam profile right here with that pretty intense hotspot and the pretty crispy outer perimeter. It is very nice and even though. You can see that outer perimeter from the hotspot to the outer perimeter there is pretty even, as you can see right there. But since it's on option 3, I have all 5 brightness levels. No need to go to option 1 and option 2. You guys already know what it looks like. All right, so hopefully this gives you guys a nice idea of what that beam looks like. So overall, I do like this flashlight. The biggest pro for the PD36R Ace is, of course, the ability to choose from 3 different optional lighting modes, which does go above and beyond most flashlights in the market, but it's also a negative because you only give us 3 of those options. I sort of wish they gave us more than those 3 options or give us the ability to customize one of those options with anything we want. For example, if I just want low, medium, and high, I wish you can do that with this flashlight, but instead you have to choose one of the preset options. Or give us the ability to reverse the brightness levels where I can start on turbo, then high, medium, low, eco, or whatever order you want. I just want more customization instead of just the 3 preset from Fenix. But like I said, it does go above and beyond 90% of the flashlights on the market today. So it's still a positive here. The 3,000 lumens is plenty bright, even though you're only getting about 10 seconds at that highest maximum lumen level. I think the hidden USB-C charging port right here with the set button is pretty cool. And I am a fan of the mode spacing, but I do wish there was some sort of firefly or moonlight mode here instead of that 30 lumen eco mode. But even at eco mode, you're getting about 63, almost 64 hours of runtime. So that's excellent. So like I said, overall, I am a fan of the Fenix PD36R Ace, especially at this price. It's about $109, which is pretty good for what this flashlight can do. $110 now, and I'm sure it'll come down a little bit in the future or for sale. So if you can find this under $110, I would say pick it up instantly. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Fenix PD36R Ace? If you guys want to check this out for yourself, I'll have all the information down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And what do you guys think of this jacket? So a company called Aurora sent me this jacket for review purposes, and they're known for heated apparel. This jacket is made of 90% down and has 8 heated zones, even up here in the ears. So I've never had a heated jacket. I got about 4 of them at this point. Never any with heated zones in the ears. That's pretty cool. I'm not really sure if I like the shininess. What do you guys think? Pretty cool? Yes? No? Watch for this review coming up soon. Couple weeks. And go!